Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jake here from Tell You How, and I just recently got Photoshop a couple days ago on this computer, and this is one of the few times that I've actually used it. Like, I've had to use it in the past at school for some media projects, but this is actually the first time, in a long time that I've actually gotten in depth to use it. And a couple things that I learned how to do was to make a brush metal texture similar to the red one that you guys see here, and how to reflect text, and similar also to the how you see it on here. So those are the two things in this tutorial that I want to show you guys. And if you already know how to do them, then this obviously isn't for you. But for those of you that do want to learn how to do these two things, I'm going to teach you. So you want to start off by opening up Photoshop. And by the way, another thing I'm going to kind of integrate with this tutorial is I'm going to put both of those aspects together and make a desktop background out of it. So the reason I say that is because when I make a new composition, it's going to be 1600 by 900 pixels because that is my screen resolution. And if you don't know how to get your screen resolution, just go to your desktop, right click, and then hit screen resolution, and then 1600 by 900. Pretty simple. So you want to go back to Photoshop and not to Camtasia. Okay, so to Photoshop, and for the grayish texture or the metal texture, you want to start off with a gray square. So obviously pick your color, square tool, drag it over the white box. So we have this. Go up to filter, noise, add noise. Okay. I like to add mine at these settings here, 19%, 100%, or yeah, amount 19%, and up here is 100%. Uniform and not monochromatic. Hit OK. And then we want to go over to blur, motion blur, and as you guys can see right there, that is where the actual metal texture part comes in. You want to, I like my settings like this because I like it kind of at an angle how you would normally see it if you find one on like Google Images or something. So I like mine at an angle of 48 degrees and a distance of 59 pixels, which I think you can just drag that around there, or you can just hit 5.9 and then hit OK. And then to get a little bit of more contrast and lighting on it, we can go up to filter once again, go to render, lighting effects. Then I like to drag mine out here a little bit, make it a little bit light, darker in the corners, kind of like that. So it kind of gives a little, effect as if a light was being shined upon it, and kind of gives a little bit more of a metal effect. So that's how I like mine. Once again, you could do this with any color. If I go to my desktop here, obviously here I did it with red, and I kind of didn't do it enough in some places. I probably should have added the lighting effect, but I didn't. But yeah, any color. Well, Camtasia, why do I keep clicking into that? Anyways, you can do it with any color, but if you actually want the metallized texture, you want to do a gray. So that's basically the part about the brush metal, but if you want to learn how to reflect text, I will teach you now. So click on the text tool, sketch a box like this. I'll just say Tell You How. The text that I'm using is Batman Forever Alternate, for those of you that don't know. That is one of the main texts that Colin and I like to use on our channel. Not that it's anything like confidential or anything, but yeah, just take your text and drag it a little bit above the center. So I would say probably about right there. Then you want to go over here, and if you want to just learn how to strictly reflect the text, and you want to right click on it, duplicate the layer, okay, and then take this layer and then edit, then go over to transform, flip vertical. And you kind of, you can see what to do from here. You kind of just drag it up somewhat near it. We can use the arrow keys here to get it pretty close. And then click, make sure you have the copy selected. Click on opacity, drag it down. So there's like a basic text reflection right there. But I like to go a little bit further than mine, and we'll delete that layer there. And then we'll go up here to blending options, and make it look a little bit better. So we'll add a few effects here. One of them being the little bit of drop shadow, a little bit of outer glow. Once again, this isn't, strictly, you don't have to do this in order to reflect text, but I like to do this to make it look a little bit better. See there, it kind of looks like a light is being shined upon that as well as the background. So we can click on bevel and emboss, add a smooth chisel, or no, yeah, smooth is what I want. And just make sure it's small, somewhat visible though. And then we can go over to gradient. I like using gradients like all the time, but that is just me. but you know, you don't have to if you don't want to. Obviously I don't want these wacky colors. I will pick a, let's see, pick a dark red like I had, and then double click is what I want here. Alright, we'll do that in a sec. So we want the red to the red. So we can maybe click a, yeah, dark red again works. To where we have a little bit of like a shade difference. And then we can drag this over here, and double click on that to make a third color. Maybe we'll make this one like white. So we'll make that one white, so it gives it a little white stripe through it. Bring it a little bit closer. This one a little bit closer as well, to give it a little bit of a white stripe through it, and kind of makes it look better in my opinion. Also going to give this a little stroke of white also, or maybe we can do a, yeah, the blue actually kind of looks cool in this situation. So we'll just do the blue, we'll make it like 2 pixels, make it smaller. Okay, so now that we have all those effects on it, now if you guys want to add the effects, then you can right click, duplicate the layer, hit OK, and now we can go up here once again to edit, transform, flip vertical. So now we have some effects on our text, so it doesn't just look like regular old text. And with that outer glow on it, it kind of makes it look a little bit more like it has been reflected, or you know, a shadow has been cast upon it. Well, that's how I like to refer to it sometimes. So using the arrow keys, dragging it up a little bit closer to the other text, and take this opacity and bring it down. You don't want to bring it down too much, you know, like right there or anything, because you can barely see it, but you have to have it low enough to where it looks like it's actually been reflected. So I say that that is probably a good spot right there. And yeah, so there's basically the tutorial of how to make the brush metal texture and reflect text. Myself, I will probably have more Photoshop tutorials in the near future, as next week, the week of, let's go check on the calendar here. Okay, the week of October 10th through the 14th, I have off school, so I'll probably be making a lot of videos then. Colin maybe not so much because he doesn't have off school, but I will in that case. So I'll, you know, I've kind of been learning how to use Photoshop lately a lot more, and I do like this program a lot. I always have ever since the first time I used it, but I honestly didn't take the time to learn. Now that I have, I hope to be producing a lot more videos for you guys. So that was just one of them. If you want to comment below and leave some suggestions for videos, maybe I can learn or teach myself how to do it, or you know, learn from a different person like Colin, and you know, he's pretty good at it, and I can teach you guys and put up a video on how to do it. So thanks for watching, and before I cut this video off, we'll go on ahead and save this and see what it looks like on my desktop. So go to pictures and save it as tutorial. Click OK on the highest setting. Back to our desktop. Pictures, and where is it? Okay, it blended in with the other ones. Alright, so there is what it looks like, and here's what it looks like when it's set. So it's actually a pretty clean desktop wallpaper. I actually might use it because it does look very clean and it does look very well made. And you know, the reason being for it being so clear is the fact that we when I saved it in the highest quality. Now if you're going to do YouTube graphics, you obviously don't want to save it as high of a quality because it'll probably be too big of a file to upload to YouTube. But nonetheless, for this tutorial, I used the highest settings, and it looks pretty darn good. So once again, if you have any more questions or suggestions for reviews in Photoshop in the future, let me know in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to this channel for helping it out. And thanks for watching, guys. See ya.